Hello children, welcome to the online educlass session for class 8 chapter number 7 Conservation of Plants and Animals. Children, do you understand what is the meaning of conservation and why we need to conserve our plants and animals? That is because the animals are regularly reducing at a very high rate, and so do the plants. There are so many different varieties of plants and animals of different medicinal value and utility value, but they are being used up very recklessly. So, we are going to starve for these plants and animals. People kill animals for luxury and utility items. Isn't it bad? We can't survive without the animal items. We do, but still we are killing them for our needs. The speed with which we are cutting down the trees, one day the dense lush green forest would look like a bunch of woods. No plants, no life, no photosynthesis, you all know. Also, the animals will be seen only in zoos. Are they happy in zoo? I am sure not. We all feel happy when we are free. So how could we expect animals to be happy in a cage or a zoo? So we should save them in their own habitats. That is why the chapter is very important, conservation of plants and animals. Once these plants and animals are extinct, we won't get them back. We will keep killing if we will keep killing them, they will be extinct one day. Extinction means when a species is completely wiped out from the earth. Once the last living individual of a species die, the species is said to be extinct. There are so many different species of animals and plants which are endangered, which will be extinct in the near future, that we will discuss a little later. Also, if we will go on cutting trees, it will cause wiping out of the plant species from the earth. This is the most dangerous situation. You all understand it very well because they are the only producers on the earth who are producing food for all the living kinds. This is actually called deforestation, which is defined as the destruction of forest by cutting down trees. Deforestation leads to habitat loss of many animals as well. It can be caused due to many reasons, like procuring land for cultivation. Somebody has procured land and they want to cultivate something. Building houses and factories. They want to build house in a remote place inside the forest and making factories for refineries, distilleries, etc. Making furniture or using wood as fuel. Natural causes like forest fire, severe drought can cause deforestation. Like you must have heard about the California fire, which spread over the kilometers, several kilometers. Which can this deforestation can lead to the increase in temperature and pollution level on Earth because they are the only purifiers on the Earth, and they regulate the temperature by causing transpiration. It increases the level of carbon dioxide on the atmosphere. Yes, because carbon dioxide is only used up by plants. This we all know. It also reduces the level of groundwater. Yes, because plants recharge and hold underground water table. Now, as we all know that plant roots hold soil and water and actively help to recharge groundwater, so in absence of plants and trees, groundwater will go on reducing and we start facing the scarcity of water and starve for water. Have you gone Rajasthan and remote places in the desert region? You must have seen there are so many places where people used to dig down deep into the ground to see the water level. This will result into drought. Drought is the lack of water in a particular area, which can happen due to lack of rainfall for a long period of time. One more process called desertification. It is the formation of desert by erosion of vegetation due to harsh weather. Although rainfall was not happening, but there was a completely harsh weather which caused the soil to become a desert soil. Human activities like deforestation and improper irrigation are also responsible for desertification of terrains. Now, also global warming has changed the climate on a global level. Usually, average temperature increases leading to the melting of ice caps in the poles. Excessive pollution and deforestation causes global warming. And the images of these slow disasters we just discussed are so horrible that it is strongly required we should save plants and we should save our animals. So let's make our earth a better place for the survival of every living species. Actually, by species, we mean a group of individuals that can breed and successfully produce fertile offsprings. To produce fertile offsprings, why? For living for generations. We can do this by rehabilitation of wild endangered species, which is being done by the government through Conservation of Wildlife Rehabilitation and Conservation, CWRC. You must have heard this is a government organization where orphaned and injured wild animals of several species are hand raised and treated and subsequently returned to the wild forest. Saving an animal won't change the world, but it will change the world for that one animal. We should do it as we are the best creations among all the animal species. Now, second thing we just read about is reforestation. Means restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees and nurturing flora and fauna at a place. The plants found in a particular area are termed as flora, and the animals found in that particular area are termed as fauna. Due to the threat of mankind's indulgence in it is important for us to conserve the forest and its wildlife. Wildlife is important for us to maintain balance in our ecosystem. Now, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is the sum total of all plants, all animals, and microorganisms in a particular area along with non-living components. You have studied about biotic and abiotic components. So, completely abiotic components and biotic components collectively make the ecosystem. We can save plants and animals by creating wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere reserves. A wildlife sanctuary is a naturally occurring sanctuary such as a isolated place like island that provides protection for species from hunting, predation, competition, or poaching. Next is the national park. It is a park that is used for biodiversity conservation. They are developed and maintained by the government. Now, third I said about is biosphere reserve. Let's discuss a brief about a biosphere before discussing about the reserve. Biodiversity and biosphere. So, the biosphere is that part of earth in which any organism exists naturally. And biological diversity refers to the variety of endemic species existing on the earth, their interrelationships, and their relationship with the environment. Endemic species. Now, endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in particular area. They are not found elsewhere. Only you will find that particular species in the confined area. Like in Chhattisgarh, we have barking deer. Barking deer is a type of endemic species, jungli maina. Okay, so they are some of the endemic species of Chhattisgarh. Now, discussing about the biosphere reserves. These are the areas that are protected from human intervention. Means we can't go inside. That is a completely a core zone where human activities are prohibited. These areas help in conservation of endangered species. In such areas, human activities are completely banned. Few reserves surrounding us are like Amarkantak, Achanakmar, and there are many more of them. Animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as endangered animals. While we were discussing about extinct animal species, I told this name about endangered animals. So, endangered animals are like lion, deer, leopard, bustard, etc. So, these animals are such a species which are under the endangered zone, means they are vulnerable to be extinct after few years. If we are continuously hunting for them, we are killing them, they will be extinct from the earth surface. Now, how we get the data about these animals? That is Red Data Book. Red Data Book actually keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plant species which are facing such a problem of getting extinct in near future. Our national animal tiger is also in the Red Data Book. See the tyranny. And so government has launched Project Tiger to conserve its species from extinction. Project Tiger was launched by the government in April 1973 to protect and conserve the dwindling tiger population in the country. Several natural parks have been associated with the Project Tiger initiative. India is home of 49 reserves which are all run by Project Tiger. Project Tiger's main aims are to reduce the factors that lead to the depletion of tiger habitats and to mitigate them by suitable management. The damages done to the habitat shall be rectified to facilitate the recovery of the ecosystem to the maximum possible extent. Ensure a viable tiger population for economic, scientific, cultural, aesthetic and ecological values. Project Tiger was administered by the National Tiger Conservation Authority, again a government organization to conserve tigers. The overall administration of the project is monitored by a steering committee which is headed by a director. A field director is appointed for each reserve who is assisted by a group of field and technical personnel. You might have come across any such view someday, the birds and animals moving to a different place. Some animals and birds move from one place to another during harsh weather for food, breathing, shelter, etc. This is called migration. Migration is the periodic movement of animals from one place to another. It is usually done for breeding and to escape harsh climates and for food. Migration is common in birds and fishes usually. So children, this is all about your chapter. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned few lessons. This video has given a lesson to be human and save our surroundings. So love all animals and plants, save them and conserve them. Thank you.